So hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm currently here at Auto Alley BMW. So I'd like to thank them so much for allowing me the test drive of this all new BMW i4 eDrive35. So this is the only variant of the i4 available here in the Philippines. As well, special thanks to Sir John and to Ma'am Nelzy here for assisting me here in this test drive. I decided to do a test drive of this first because I can't wait, I'm too excited. So first impressions immediately with this i4. I mean, everything looks exactly the same here in the interior. Exterior wise, of course, this is my first ever time encountering a 4 Series up close and driving one, and yet this is the electric version. So weirdly, now being this BMW i4, of course there is still driving and acoustic sounds available here, but it's not as plenty as the iX. It's only available here in the driving modes. There are still physical buttons, thank goodness. First impressions immediately. Oh yeah, since we're here already, so powering this BMW i4 electric is a 70.2 kilowatt-hour battery that produces 281 horsepower and 400 Newton meters of torque. And this is mated to a single motor that powers the rear wheels only, of course, being a BMW. And very, weird over here. There's no sound. It's amazing. So I've driven other BMW i electric vehicles here too at Auto Alley. I did to the iX3, and as well my favorite and the most violent electric car still I've driven to this day, the BMW iX. So you may check them out here again at Auto Alley. And here, just of course driving here usually around incentives only. Yes, being a 4 Series, the ground clearance is pretty low at 124 millimeters, but going over even the biggest humps here in incentives, it goes up to them with easy. You don't have to do the S maneuver. Driving modes, there's a lot of them. The usual Sport, Comfort, and Eco Pro, but at least here you have for your steering settings. So let's just put it here at the heaviest mode for the steering wheel. So I'll just leave it at that. And then this is what I like too with this i4, being an electric vehicle. There's no sound, it's amazing. And as well, despite running on 19-inch wheels, here's the big test, rocky part of road. Okay, typical BMW. I'll get to more on the why this NVH is really good once we go back in the showroom. But driving it here sensibly, of course, yeah, it's pretty, comforting, calming. It's just as good as I say with the rest of the BMW i models. As well, the range of this is around 406 to 483 kilometers, depending on your driving conditions. So it just says here at the moment, 70% of battery, and we have 221 kilometers of range left. I don't think that's bad whatsoever, since this is a demo unit. And the charging times, it's your usual electric car. So you get for your slow charger around 8 to 10 hours, and then for your fast charger from 0 to 80%, it will take around 30 to 40 minutes. As well, there are fast charging stations available here too in Auto Alley. Let's start with Eco Pro first, because I know sport mode will be a little bit too violent. Oh my gosh. Okay, despite being okay, I have to hold my camera because this is gonna be too violent. Just despite being Eco Pro, this thing is so fun. Wow. Okay, F this goes to Sport Plus immediately. Oh. Okay, that's the sound I miss. I think that was expressive mode in the iX. So here now, comfort mode. Wait for this person to cross. Sheesh. So actually, eco mode, there's no sound at all. Of course, with the driving mode from Eco, Comfort, and Sport mode, it's night and day difference in terms only of the throttle response. But still, this is an electric vehicle. It's so peppy. Been a while I've driven an electric sedan, but this is the first one, if not mistaken. I've driven a Grand Coupe electric vehicle. Of course, Grand Coupe, basically, it's a coupe with 2 additional doors. So, again, another first for the channel too. Of course, being a BMW, drives like one. Okay, with the handling wise, I can feel almost immediately like in the back, my favorite back part here in Centris. Yes, an electric vehicle will be always heavier than the petrol than the gasoline counterpart, but you don't feel that much here with this i4, since this is the sedan version. And remember, this is the entry level of the i4. Can imagine if the i4 M50 or M60, whatever that variant is, will be available here in the Philippines soon. And U-turn test pretty easy din. That was effortlessly. So here, eco mode. Yeah, too, eco mode, there's no sound whatsoever, which is cool. Of course, out of the BMW electric vehicles I've driven, of course the iX still takes the cake of being the most violent one amongst the three I've driven. But I think this one is the second best compared only to the iX3. Of course, that's a crossover SUV. This is a sedan rather. And the ride of this, despite as well being heavier and an electric vehicle, soaks up the humps and bumps pretty well. And going back to the steering, there's only two settings. You have comfort and sport mode. The comfort is the lightest amongst the three, of course, but a little bit too light for my liking, but still handles great like every other BMW. So I just left it in sport because there's actually very nice weight to this. And here in the instrument cluster, like with every other BMW, it's too high-tech for some, but I got used to it pretty quickly. But I would say though, for this infotainment system, like with the iX3 and unlike with the iX, this one's a little bit easier since there's less things going on here. And the brakes too is what surprised me. Yes, they have still a regen braking, but it's not as brash or too strong, unlike some of the electric vehicles out there in general only. And yeah, despite as well being one of the electric cars available for BMW here in the Philippines, yeah, this one's a pretty good still, I must say already. Now in comfort mode, I think this will be the best mode for all the driving modes here. You can just hear a little bit more of a whir now with the electric motor and in the speakers as well. Yeah, this one is just slightly more responsive now than usual. And visibility all around, okay, yes, being a Grand Coupe, the CPL is just slightly bigger than usual, but then again, it's not so bad comparing with SUVs. And I can't get over this handling. I think, call me crazy, this is one of the best handling electric vehicles I've driven so far. And I'm very amazed and very honored to drive BMW i4, and as well my first ever 4 Series. And a hilarious story, if you're a very old time viewer of my channel, I wear this specific BMW shirt always in every BMW review with the 4 Series with the mask on it. Yeah, it's been 3 years since I made that shirt, and finally it happened already. Okay, let's go back to sport mode now, and then wow, look at that, it's so flat. Holy shit. Wow. Okay, top speed of this is 190 kilometers per hour, and Jesus. Right. Comfort enough. Okay, Eco Pro one more time. Wow. No sound whatsoever in Eco Pro. Okay, that could be my new favorite mode. Alright, that's enough of me blabbering with this BMW i4 eDrive35. Let's go back to the showroom and let's have a proper walk around tour. So back here in front of this BMW i4, like with the rest of the 4 Series models, yes, to this day, the looks of this is very divisive. But for me, already having driven a lot of weird looking cars already, the grille won't be as suited to some people out there. However, this i4 makes up for it with the blue surrounds here, and being the electric version now of the 4 Series, the top part here now is closed off. But at least underneath here, there's still holes to cool down the electric motors itself. There's blue accents now too around in the BMW logo, and too, like with every other BMW, you get LED lights all around as well. They're adaptive, which go up and down. And then here below you have real vents. They're really thin only, but hey, at least this still function. And this one is blacked out, and the ground clearance, as I stated, is 124 millimeters. Surprisingly, it doesn't scrape off any of the big humps and bumps, I gotta say. So we're done with the electric motor. Let's go to the side. So here on the side profile of this BMW i4, so being based on the Grand Coupe, you have a much sleeker rear roof over here. And Grand Coupe meaning this is based on a coupe, but you've been added additional two doors here at the rear. So we'll get on the space later on. And what I like with this i4 specifically, you have a blue trim that stretches all the way from the wheel arches up to the rear door over here. And I just saw now there's a small opening over here, but at least it's there for a purpose. And here on your side mirrors, it's a two-tone black and white, and you have LED repeaters as well. And this is your charging port right here. As I mentioned too, you have one above for your slow charger and one below for your fast charger. And here now at the rear of this BMW i4, the rear looks exactly the same like with the rest of the 4 Series models. You get an i4 badge here on the left side, and on the right side you get your variant designation, the eDrive35. And again, like with the one in front, you have a blue trim around the BMW logo. As well, you have a reverse camera over here. Oh yeah, too, during the test drive of this, sadly this does not get a 360-degree camera, but the reverse camera has very good resolution. But at least you have 360 sensors all around this vehicle, which kind of helped me parking this parallel on here on the service area. So to below here on the rear, I mean, at least they tried though. You have diffusers here again with blue trims all around. That's again to signify this is an electric vehicle. That's the same cases like with the iX and the iX3 models. Then open this up. This is what surprised me the most, since being now the Grand Coupe model. I expected this to have a smaller boot, but no. Yep, the rear clamshell is one whole piece. The total space here is 470 liters, which is pretty good for what this is. And here on the left side, you get a cubby space and an LED light. But you only have the net storage only here on the left side. But I don't know why they didn't bother putting here anywhere on the right side. And then underneath, you have an extra storage here yet again. It can fit all the way down. Okay, that's pretty deep. And then you have a very small tonneau cover, but it's pretty easy to remove and it's very light since I can carry it one-handed. And of course, the space will double when you fold all of the seats down. So another advantage with this BMW i4, since this being based on the Grand Coupe, this is kind of like a wagon-ish. It won't be as good as the 318i Touring, but at least this is second best to that. So, that's about it here with the exterior and the boot of this BMW i4. Let's check out the interior. Now, upon going in here of the BMW i4, so I'll be here in the passenger side, sorry, because it's against the light. You get two puddle lamps all around this vehicle, which I find pretty amazing. And then, of course, being a BMW, very good. So, overall here in the interior, yes, it looks exactly the same like with the rest of the BMWs. It's basically the same interior design language. So I won't go through all of this because again, it looks and functions exactly the same, but with few minor upgrades compared with the rest of the regular lineup of BMW. So here on the door card, very good materials overall. Even the plastic here below is just a little bit on the softer side of things. And two, you get this aluminum trim with ambient light on all of the doors. And on the left side of the dashboard, you get your air conditioning vent and your light controls once again. And along two, you get your silver trim that stretches all the way here to the right front passenger seat. Again, with your ambient light. And like I didn't mention this too during the test drive, but your steering wheel is exactly the same like with the regular BMW models, but for once this one's just a little bit less chunkier, feels a little bit better, it's a little bit more durable than usual. And two, you get your cruise control functions on the left side. This is not an adaptive cruise control, by the way, but it has a braking functions added for safety purposes. Volume and phone connectivity buttons on the right side. And of course, this BMW i4 is dominated by the BMW Live Cockpit system. So you get the fully digital instrument cluster, and then here in your infotainment system, okay, it's pretty much the same. You get Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. All the functions are controlled here in the infotainment system. And again, like my nitpick with the M3 where I first demoed it, all of your climate is controlled over here. You have the two-stage again to turn off the air conditioning system, which I find a bit annoying. So if you want a bit more in detailed review of this iDrive 8, you may check out my BMW MT competition walk-around review. So new for this BMW i4, this is equipped with connected drive. So basically, what I understand, it will save all of your favorite places. Example, I want to go to Carmona, to Clark, and Auto Alley here in BMW, you can do it with that service. And as well, the maps of this is pretty responsive. It's like with every other BMW. Here in the center console, all of your buttons, the swivel wheel, gear shift is exactly the same. But nice touch now with this BMW i4, you get a blue start stop button rather than a red one. Below the infotainment system, you have two large air conditioning vents, and then you have some of your climate controls down below for your heating functions only and your tuning knob. And way further down, open this up, it reveals you have two cup holders, a USB port, a 12-volt socket, and a wireless charging pad. Surprisingly, my phone fits even though this does not have wireless charging. Alright, DBJ. I love this spec 2 of the seats with this i4. It's all red, and you get your anthracite materials again here on the ceiling. Feels very nice to the touch, and like with every other BMW 2, you get electronic adjustments for both front seats and with your thigh support. And then here where I am, glove box. Okay, you get your felt material along too with an LED light right inside. And then above here, you get your very wide mouse lights yet again. Sun visor, you get a vanity mirror with a halogen light. So applies to the driver's seat, they don't extend, sadly, but it's alright. And then here now, okay, it's pretty decent. You get a USB-C port and a halogen light. So that's about it here in front of this BMW i4. Let's check out the rear seats. So these are the rear seats of the all-new BMW i4. So here in the door card is exactly the same like the ones in front. You got your silver trim and your ambient lights over here. Oh yeah, I forgot to explain too. Like what they explained in the test drive, how come this NVH is so good? Because you get very thick windows over here. It is exactly the same like the ones in the BMW iX. Woo. And above here you get your dome lights once again, and like there's just two little ambient lights. You can change the colors again through the infotainment system. And surprisingly for a Grand Coupe, this is pretty practical. I mean, feet room and body room, I can stretch my body all the way forward. But my headroom though, I mean, so I cannot forgive for what this is, since this is based on a coupe rather than the 3 Series sedan. So as well here too, the seats are pretty much the same like the ones in front. You get gray stitching over here too, and pretty comfortable to sit in here too, even though this is just a little bit on the sportier side of things, but still comfortable nevertheless. So behind both front seats, you get 2 net storages, and then here in the middle, you get 2 air conditioning vents, climate control functions, and 2 USB-C ports. Then you get pop-out ISOFIX anchor points here, and then if I sit here in the middle, okay, pretty doable even though you have a very large transmission tunnel over here where my feet are. And then this one, you get a central armrest with pop-out cup holders with flimsy grips around them, and like with every BMW I've tried out too, you can fold down the middle seat separately in case you wanna hold longer items as you wish. So that's about it here with this BMW i4. So for the cost of this exact eDrive35 van is at 4,490,000 pesos. Yes, you get a lot for your money for what this is. Again, it's a BMW, and for me personally, surprisingly a very good BMW to drive. I wasn't expecting this to drive as good as the 420i, even though I have not driven that car specifically yet, but for sure, of course, being an electric car, this has instant torque. It's pretty comfortable, quiet too. So yeah, that concludes my review of this BMW i4. So again, I'd like to thank everyone here again at BMW Auto Alley, and to Sir John and to Ma'am Nelzy. These are contact details. So you may check out here with more BMW electric vehicles here at Auto Alley with the iX3 and the very violent iX. So hope you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you with more BMW reviews coming right up. Bye-bye.